Hey guys, Mario here. So, happy Monday. We are all glued to our seats watching the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. What's interesting about the trial is it's not Kyle Rittenhouse that's on trial. It's our right to self-defense, our right to defend our life from bodily harm. This is the first case that we see where a person who was fighting for their life was caught on camera. And they won the fight for their life. They won when someone struck them from behind. They won when someone tried to stop them in the face. They won when someone pointed a gun at them. Why did they win? Because they're still here. I don't think the jury is going to convict this poor young man of manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter. The poor kid was defending himself. Because what's on trial right now is the right for you to stand your ground and say, no, don't come any closer. Stay away from me. And if you hit me or you hurt me, I have the right to defend myself with whatever force is necessary to make you stop. That is what's on trial right now. And when we saw George Zimmerman do it, there was no eyewitness. Nobody really knew what was going on. It was he said, she said. And ultimately, George Zimmerman came out somewhat victorious because of the fact that Florida has a very strong stand your ground law. You do not have the right to push someone into making them run away. They have the right to stand there and say, no, you are not going to push me. You are not going to threaten me. I have every right to this piece of earth and to this space of bubble as you do. And if you're going to get into this space of bubble, into this area of protection that I've created for myself, then I have the right to use whatever force is necessary to protect this little space. And you have the duty to retreat from my space. You do not have the authority to come invade my space and put my life in harm. Jesus even said that. If you don't have a saber, sell your cloak for a saber. Jesus was the ultimate non-violent person. Why? Because he was the man, he was the Son of God. He was God's embodiment in human form. And he knew that his death would ultimately end up in his resurrection. But he chose to sacrifice himself for our transgressions, our sins. Not to say that you should go out there and sin because he died for them. You should go out and live the best life you can, but know that you will stumble. And when you stumble, Jesus gave up his life so that you can find peace, you can find solace, you can find remorse, you can find all those feelings that you feel because you did something wrong, all that guilt, you could be forgiven for that. Because it's not a sin, it's no longer a sin when you don't feel bad for it. If you're stealing and you no longer feel bad, that sin has moved beyond the ability for anyone to forgive that. Because you now see it as a normal behavior. That is not a normal behavior. So when people say, oh, homosexuals, they're sinful, they're living in sin, they no longer accept their sin. Trust me, I accept my sin every single day. My sin, I pay for my sin every single day because I wake up in a home that doesn't have the sound of the love that I create. You wake up every morning with your spouse and you hear the sound of the love that you create in the footsteps around your house. I don't hear that. So I pay for my sins every single day. I don't need you telling me that I do not belong in the Republican or the conservative movement because I stand for your freedom. I understand my sin. God died for my sin. God died for Kyle Rittenhouse to protect himself and not face ultimate punishment for taking someone else's life, because no jury on earth or in heaven would say you deserve to have your life nearly taken from you before you decide to stand up and defend yourself. That is not true. That is not Christian. That is not the way any of us want to live our lives. And that's exactly why the right to self-defense is what's on trial right now in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The irony is the people who are mad about Kyle Rittenhouse and the direction it's going are mad because a young man decided to defend himself from rioters and looters. So when he is found innocent, you're going to go out and riot and loot some more? I'll leave you guys with that. I love you guys all. I'll talk to you guys soon. Mwah! Bye, guys.